Welcome to Kimmy's Collective. I'm Kim. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're returning, welcome back. Today I'm doing a love reading for the sign of Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. My readings are timeless, so whenever you find this reading is the perfect time for you. And please feel free to reverse the roles as you see fit. But don't try to make a message fit. If it's not your message, it's not your message. All right? Let's get started. I pre-shuffled the decks, and the bottom of this deck is honesty. Okay, so maybe someone is going to be very honest with you now, Aries. Maybe there's like a change in the wind, and somebody is thinking about being honest about something with you. Or maybe you're thinking about being honest with someone else about something. I'm gonna just peek. Triumph and honesty again. Okay, so whoever is being honest, it's going to bring some success. So let's see the main energies. What else for Aries? We have solitude. So maybe someone has gone within to, maybe gain some wisdom to see things clearer. Okay, so the first energy is solitude. It's like really thinking about situations. Now I see consuming. It's like someone is like gobbling something up. The world is in this, it's like space is in the mouth. That's where the earth resides. But around the mouth, it seems like just a bunch of chaos. And it's almost like finding the peace, space, very peaceful. If you look around that mouth, on the outside of the mouth, there's just like a lot of chaos. But within that mouth is like a peaceful earth, something peaceful. Going within, going in, getting some solitude. So maybe someone is gobbling up this. And scrutiny. So that's where someone is watched, being, watching. Bottom of the deck is intuition. So there may be some sort of spiritual practice or something. You're going within. It's like it's all consuming. You're consuming everything you can possibly get. It's almost like your body is now hungry for some information, for something, to find some stillness within all the chaos. Someplace where you can go to, because you feel like you have eyes on you probably everywhere you go with the scrutiny card. Let's look into this solitude a bit more. We have the Eight of Pentacles. That is a card of working on something, mastering something. So you're serious about this solitude. There's something that you have gone within to think about. We have the Queen of Swords, first card out in the reverse. She's a bit of a bugbear upright. She'll get you right. This way, you may have a bit more, not you per se, but whoever has to deal with this energy may have a whole lot more on their hands than they probably thought they would get. We have the Nine of Wands. That is the wounded warrior. This guy showed up on his side. It's almost like maybe these two went into some battle, but she might have lost her mind and knocked him out. All right. So, Queen of Swords in the reverse, and the Nine of Wands as a block. It's almost like a pause between like a battle, going into solitude after like a big fight. maybe even trying to consider whether someone wants to fight for this any longer. You know, maybe someone is tired of the battle and they've gone within. Let's see what else we get. We have the Two of Wands. That is picking a path. So maybe someone is tired of fighting something, maybe fighting for something, and now they're choosing a different path for themselves. We have the Fool, new path, taking the leap of faith, going someplace brand spanking new, doing something brand spanking new. It's like this person is looking at the paths that they have, but they're carrying along with them that Fool, that someone that is ready for the next adventure, for an adventure, for something brand spanking new. What you looking for here? Okay, so that's that bit of toxicity, that devil energy. And the conflict with the Five of Wands. Bottom of the deck is the Knight of Cups. So the Knight of Cups can be like a kind of a playboy, playgirl energy. Someone is tired of fighting for something, possibly fighting for this love. This love may be a little toxic and kind of hard to deal with, which is why maybe you are looking to take that leap of faith. Like you've had the big fight and you're moving away from this toxicity, this toxic energy. Bottom of the deck now is the Seven of Swords. That's that sneaky energy where someone is sneaking around possibly, or it could be something strategic. But I kind of think it's sneaking around, looking for, you know, the next new thing to fulfill some wishes. So this energy, this could have been what someone was doing in your situation, in your relationship. Someone could have been like out and about, you know, here and there, looking for the next big thing, the next adventure, the next spark. And we got the King that's going directly after it, right after you find it. Okay, so this could be someone from your past. Definitely someone you've dealt with before. I think they presented themselves as someone that was very stable. Okay. So yeah, this is like a someone that comes in. They can really wow you with their words and you know, loving gestures and things like that. And I think you may have gone through cycles with this. And I think, like I say, I think you're done trying to fight for it. Every time you think you're going in a certain direction, this person goes in another direction. All right. So now let's move on to see this consuming. This is where I said, it looks like someone is just looking for some sort of inner peace. That's the first thing I got from this. Like consumed by the chaos, maybe of this situation. Bottom of the deck is a Page of Wands. That is looking for a spark, looking for something new. I think I saw that at the bottom of the deck, as I did after the Seven of Swords, which is the sneaking around. Just finding the next new thing. And I think you're done fighting for a situation where that is the only energy you get out of it. You know, it's not fulfilling. You're not fulfilled. All right, so let's see consuming. What is consuming? Trying to tell me. We got the Four of Swords popping out first. That is rest and healing. Someone going within to heal. And I did, you know, with the solitude and consuming, like I said, with the peaceful, all the space in the mouth, you know, where the earth quietly and just slowly does its thing, its rotation. Just you're looking for something that is not like consuming. not consuming your energy. You're resting. You're trying to find that peaceful space now so you can go and heal. This probably sent you through it. A lot of conflict here to where you are going to take your leap of faith now too. There's the devil again. Devil coming in for you as you try to rest. This devil is all consuming, this energy. You know, this could be an energy that you hold for someone. It's just all consuming and you need to get away from it. You need your solitude to be at peace. There's the Knight of Cups again. That's that energy. I think they come in and they like kind of bum rush you. I feel like you become overwhelmed. I think it's a lot of sexual attraction here. It's a lot. There's the conflicts again. Devil conflict, devil conflict. Knight of Cups, Knight of Cups. I think you're having a hard time dealing with this energy. This energy overwhelms you, Aries. There's a Chariot. That's like an overwhelming, like fast-moving energy coming in to be victorious. Coming in very stable and balanced. You know, I'm like, with that force. The Emperor, Mr. Force himself. Someone is coming in to take charge. It's almost like they're catching you at, I don't want to say your lowest point, but at a point where you are still healing. It's almost like you're doing some healing without them. You are possibly gaining some sort of a glow up with your healing, or they know you are healing. You're doing something without them because of this Queen of Swords in the reverse with the Nine of Wands on its side as a block. They know you've said your piece, you know, you've done your slash and dash, and you're done fighting for this, and they feel it. And they're coming in with this energy that is just, you know, it consumes you. He's coming in with heavy boss energies. This is a lot of, like I said, a lot of sexual attraction too, which is probably why you feel so consumed. Bottom of the deck here is the Six of Pentacles. Now, Six of Pentacles is equal give and take. This could be what they are hitting you with while you feel so overwhelmed. You know you're not healed yet, but this tension is still here. Every time I see the devil, it's surrounded by wands, which is taking action and a lot of passion. So I feel like you're overwhelmed, but even though I think you're being promised equal give and take, reciprocity, I think you're afraid that it may be just a bit of breadcrumbing. But somebody wants to come in fast and heavy. Fast and heavy. We've got the Knight of Wands. That is someone taking decisive action. We have the Star. That's healing. We have the Sun. We have Five of Cups, which is regret, and Ten of Swords, which is a painful ending. So I'm feeling like, yeah, they're coming in. They obviously have done some healing, but I think they're still hitting you with that heavy duty, passionate energy, and I think that's what's consuming, you know, what's overwhelming you. But it looks like they have healed. They see you as their star. They want to come in. We've got the Sun energy after that. And look how brilliant those two cards are blasting with the Star and the Sun. It's like you really make them happy. And I feel like they regret how something ended before. Whatever this big fight was that was had, I think they regretted how it ended. It left them in conflict because I know they saw you making up your mind to go on and take a leap of faith and do something else. And that prompted them to come right back in. Yeah, they're manifesting this situation back. They've thought long and hard about this with the King of Swords. They know exactly their next moves. They want celebration. I just think they're probably waiting for the proper time. All right, so let's see this scrutiny where I feel like they're, you know, watching you. They're consumed by you. There's something you may be doing, but they definitely have their eye on you. Okay, so bottom of the deck is Divine Feminine. There's the Emperor. This could be, you know, this divine counterpart type situation you're going through. Could be a twin flamey kind of thing. You could be going through one of your cycles with your person. Is it twin flame? You go through a lot of cycles, learn a lot of lessons, big lessons. And this could be one of the cycles. Okay. I mean, even though you come into union in the twin flame, you can still split up again. It can still happen because you still have some things that trigger you. You're still bouncing off of each other. But anyway, I feel like someone is watching you. It could be your person. Let's see what we get under scrutiny. We have the Queen of Pentacles, which is that nurturing energy. Someone is watching you and wanting to nurture you. Hierophant, commit to you. They see how nurturing you are, and they know that you would be like dynamite in a committed relationship. But I guess for some reason, there's the Lovers and the Two of Pentacles, which is balance. We have the Nine of Swords, which is self-sabotage, and we have the Page of Pentacles, which is a new idea, a new opportunity. I'm getting that they don't want to sabotage this relationship. They know that they've blown opportunities with you because they were doing the same thing that they've always done. I'm not sure that they even knew what they were doing was wrong. Or was, I don't want to say was wrong, but was not a way to get what you want. Bottom of the deck is Ten of Cups, contentment, and joy. Going on top of the Hierophant and nurturing, and the Lovers and the balance. Bottom of the deck, Knight of Pentacles, steady progress. Okay, so they're watching you. You're probably glowing up. Well, with your healing, they're watching you. They're watching you heal. But it must have had something had to do with how you pulled up, how you left them. That's, you know, I guess kind of shocking for them. Which made them start watching you. Like, what you're doing something completely differently from maybe how you did it in previous cycles with this person. And that's kind of giving them a wake-up call, like, uh-oh, I think I might have done something here. I need to double back and check into this. But I think their initial approach might have been their same energy. And this is the energy I think that you decided to walk away from. That is the energy that needs to change. But through the separation, through your solitude, I think also they probably became more consumed with you. As you are struggling for the inner peace, they're struggling to come out and find out what's going on with you because you're doing something completely differently. So it's almost like they feel like they've got to hit this harder this time. They got to come a little stronger to make sure that, you know, you two are still in some sort of a union. They're wanting to come in here and take charge of the situation. You know, and if it just feels like a ramping up of the energy from here to here now. But like in the near future, I think that when they come to you with this reciprocity, they want to give to you equally, you know, I think you're going to be too busy healing. I don't think you're going to be ready for this because you probably heard it all before. And I think you're going to continue. Now, like I said, I think that's what keeps their eye on you. Because you're did your thing. You guys did whatever you went through, whatever you went through with this fight or whatever disagreement. And it feels like you just shut down. You went into your solitude. And I probably them not knowing exactly what's going on, what you're doing, got their motor running. So now they feel like they have to like amp it up and try and get back in there with the romantic gestures. They want this victory with you because you are their contentment. They want to, I'm not feeling the whole wedding thing, but they want to commit a bit deeper to you because you are nurturing. You're got the twin flame connection. You're the lovers. You are the balance for them. You do bring contentment and joy into their life, but they just have to figure out what they need to do to maintain this. Knight of Pentacles at the bottom, steady progress. We've got the Emperor showing up again, getting into that Emperor energy. We've got the Five of Wands. That is a conflict again. We keep getting that. That's the third time for that. So this I'm going to say divine masculine energy here is taking charge of whatever has been a conflict in their life. They've done some healing too, healing and recovering, and they're ready to move ahead. And I think they've been reevaluating how they looked at this situation, how they worked this relationship. I kind of get the feeling that they treated you maybe the way they treated everyone else. But you were guided to follow your intuition and move on. And I think that that's what kicked this next wave in. You know, this person has done a bit of growth and you're doing a bit of growth, which is what this whole twin flamey thing is. You come together to learn and grow. When you're not getting along again, you bounce off each other and go your way. And eventually you come back, be it this lifetime, next lifetime, whatever. But there is a bouncing off until you guys finally like settle in, have learned all your lessons. Okay. So now let's get some clarity. Let's find out more about this Queen of Swords in the reverse, the Moon. So you probably crawled into somebody's behind over some things that they weren't upfront about, so probably some secrets. So let's get some more. Why is the Queen of Swords in reverse and the Nine of Wands on its side? What is that trying to tell us, Spirit? What's happening with the Queen of Swords in the reverse? So the waiting card is on the floor. Someone decided they weren't going to wait anymore. We have the Queen of Cups. We have Seven of Cups. And we have the Three of Wands. I'm taking this as this person took you for granted. I feel like the love was right there, but there were many choices. And you know, they're busy waiting for the, like I said, the next best thing. That brought that to an end. Next best thing. Walking away. So that's why the Queen is here. Because this probably with the world here, it probably went through a bunch of cycles. Maybe 7 times, who knows? But I feel like this person has had many opportunities with you to do what's right. But they get distracted easily and they move away. Give me some more. I think they may have a bit of an ego. And this ego causes conflict. I feel like they can always do better. Nine of Wands. Yes, that's just a continuing fight. An everlasting, you know, struggle. People can't be satisfied with where they are, with what they have. It's always like a constant search for something else. Um, and it's possibly something that they just need to find within. It's not a person, place, or thing. It's probably something they need uh, to find closure within. And that's why the solitude. Solitude for you. That's what you did. And I feel like this is what your person needs to look at. Bottom of the deck. It's that stalemate. So that is why Queen is in reverse and the Nine of Wands is on its side. You're done fighting for this. You know what else to do here. Nothing else to be done. Okay, so let's see consuming. Consuming. This is more devil energy showing up with the conflict with the Emperor here. I think it's a promise of, doing better. Giving to this relationship the way it should be. Taking you out of your head and out of solitude. Let's see what we get. The Hierophant. First card out. Let's get another one to pop. Okay, Hierophant. We've got the Eight of Swords. This is for consuming. Hierophant in their head and the King of Wands. As you're healing, even though this person is coming in with this Hierophant energy, this let's commit, let's, it keeps you in your head because you feel this King of Wands energy in them. We have intuition at the bottom of the deck for the main energies. And there's that King of Wands energy, which is someone that just goes after whatever they're passionate about. And this is something that you're pretty aware of, and it's got you in your head. Can a King of Wands actually slow down those passions? Or, is it that type of maturity? Seven of Swords. That's the sneaking energy, but that's part of the reason why you're in your head. And there's the Four of Swords again for the rest and the healing. So it feels like everything is in this person's ballpark. They've got to show you something different before you can come out of this Eight of Swords energy and actually believe them. But in the meantime, you're done with the okie doke, and you are about the business of healing yourself. King of Cups. You're looking for somebody emotionally mature. That's what you need. Bottom of the deck. The Hermit. Somebody needs to go within and heal. And I think that's when they do, that's when you can even consider working with them. Yeah, but as it stands, you're not going to take an offer from this person. They're going to have to come to you with some serious communication. It's going to take some convincing on their part. They're going to be successful at this. And they're going to have to give up all the secrets, whatever it was that you guys were fighting about, whatever took you out of this situation and put you in solitude, they're going to have to come forward. You've got the intuition again. You've got your own ideas about what's happening. You're listening to your intuition because they're not telling you anything. You've got nothing to work with except your intuition, and I think you're dead on. You made your moves. You see things the way you see things, and you've got your boundaries up when it comes to this person. You can do whatever you want to do on your own, with or without them. And I think, they're coming to realization about all of this. You can do things on your own. You don't need somebody else. And I think that's why they're coming on back in this Emperor energy, trying to reclaim maybe what they feel is theirs. It could be just a matter of, I'm finding that people don't I don't really know, at least not the old-fashioned way, how relationships go. I think it's like a miscommunication. You know, you got the old school and you got this new school way of doing things, and I think everybody is just confused. Everyone is just confused out here as to what's real, what you are supposed to be looking for in a relationship. What I think the order of things is out of order. Looking for the wrong things first, I guess you would say. I don't know. But let's see scrutiny. Give me some information on scrutiny. There is the Seven of Wands, which is bringing up those defenses, and that fell on top of the King of Cups. It's like almost like not trusting anything that could be loving. That energy will leave you feeling out in the cold. And this is the third time for the devil. I think you truly, truly, truly do not trust this individual. They are watching you. Sorry that they blew this. They're dealing with the heartache. It's almost like what goes around comes around here. They're still holding on to you. But I think they can't believe now that they're left out in the cold. And it doesn't even feel like, it's going to sound weird, like they actually were out to hurt you. Yeah, I'm getting like a really flirty energy with your person. Like, not that they're out there. I think I think they're pretty flirty. And that just pisses you off. It pisses you off. And it pisses you off to a point where you don't know if this is just something they do, something that's in their nature, which is still not an excuse, or whether they're actually following through with this kind of stuff. Because you can have people that are flirty, but they're not about that. You know, there's just the way they come off flirty. I've been told that I come off flirty. I don't mean to, but it's just the way I am, the way I talk to people. And I think the way they are pissed you off. Give me a little bit more. But like I said, they're holding on. They're holding on. They're watching. Trying to come into balance because they want celebration. They want to move into smoother waters with you. Justice, wish fulfillment, and a second chance. They want to come in. I feel like they want to show you something else, something new, something better. They want to actually be in this Emperor energy. But don't get it tangled and twisted. With the devil showing up, they still have some devil energy, but this could be, I'm getting more of a sexual kind of thing. I think they are completely attracted. They got a thing for you. But it's almost like if they have a thing for you, you want it to be all for you, not to be like spread around the world and shared with everyone. And I think that might be the problem. Because that kind of activity being done by them, it just consumes you. You don't know what to think about this person. Okay, so on the second chances, bottom of the deck is the King of Pentacles. Wanting to show you that they're going to come in stable. More stability. Take their time and do it right. They are manifesting you back. Ten of Pentacles. They want to give you this happily ever after kind of thing. The stability that you need. You're their Empress. They want to give you this Ace of Cups. This loving new beginning. All right, because once again, they are watching you with the scrutiny. They want to make sure you don't get away. Okay, so let's see what needs to be surrendered here. Surrender to joy. A key to positive change in your life is to let joy in and savor it. Indulge in random acts of smiling. During both the hard and easy times, keep surrendering to more joy. How can you surrender to more joy? Continue to heal yourself. Let the joy in. Don't shut yourself down. You know, kind of stay off the dark side of you know, your thought process. Don't let your thoughts take over, because like I say, this person could have a flirty personality, but they are, I'm getting that they're harmless. They're just a flirty personality. Okay, and surrender to your intuition. Intuition, and we had High Priestess. Surrender to your intuition. Tune into your inner voice. Be aware of any gut feelings, flashes, knowings, or aha moments that come through to guide you. Okay, so now let's get a message from your higher self. Bottom of the deck is have the courage to be free. Know that freedom begins where desire ends. And I think with this person coming in, he or she may be very, you know, kind of on the lusty side. And I think when they lead with that puts you right back in this little nest where you run and hide. Because I know you know, from the first two, Queen of Swords in the reverse, you don't want to be bothered with that kind of energy, if that's all it is, I feel. You know, you feel like one of the others, you know. Okay, so I'm going to give you that one. A difficult path is being revealed. Ask for help and learn that we are all connected. So your path is pretty difficult right now. But I think it's a path that you have to go down. There's something you need to learn from the situation. I feel like it has to do with you and your strength, how you respond to things. You know, your reality is based on how you respond to what's going on. If you respond to a situation, one person responds very happy about it and the other one is really pissed off, you know, that's each of their reality. So I want to say maybe it could be a good time for you to also, they can learn how to be a little more emotionally mature, kind of consider other people in their lives when they're doing the goofy stuff. But I think you might need to lighten up a little bit too, to not take everything so seriously that, you know, people having conversations, being in each other's company, doesn't always necessarily mean someone is out there flirting or playing the field. So it might be a need for each of you to lighten up a little bit. You know, you may definitely need to lighten up in your mindset. You know, let somebody show you. This person wants a second chance. Let them show you that they can do better. You know, don't just jump in that mindset that they can't and they won't, because you're just going to drag that into a next situation. You're not going to be trusting. So you got to nip some stuff in the bud with who you with, you know. All right, so bottom of the deck now is awaken the magic of your creativity. Immerse yourself in the world of feelings. All right, let's get a hidden truth. Bottom of the deck, I will wait for a sign from you. So, you know, no matter what happens, I feel like they're going to be sitting in the cut waiting for you to give them the okay. What else does this person want Aries to know in love? What else does Aries need to know? I wish I could share my good news with you. So this person is missing you. You guys probably had like a pretty decent relationship. If they wish they could share their good news, it was a good friendship going on here too. I left when I saw you with someone, okay? I lost myself for a little while. I feel like could be your person. I don't know. Or maybe you, because maybe you snapped. I will wait for a sign from you is back. So someone is waiting on you. I know I was a distraction from your pain, and I remember every detail of that day. You and I were too young. Okay. So now let's get a message from Spirit. Let's see what Spirit wants you to know. Yeah. So maybe you saw this person talking with someone and you kind of lost it. I feel like they may be waiting for you, waiting for you to show up and say something. Okay, let's see. Message from Spirit. What does Spirit want Aries to know in love? Anything else? Aries in love. What does Spirit want Aries to know? One card. Okay. Don't lose sight of this truth. You came here to evolve and grow. That's all a twin flame journey is about. Evolving and growing. It is necessary to experience the difficult times. That is when you will grow the most. There is always light at the end of the tunnel. Be proud of your journey. So, don't stay in a little cocoon or in a little nest all curled up in a ball. Come on back out and live. I don't know what to tell you. I want to say this too shall pass. You're going to look back at this one day and say, oh, I see why I needed to go through that. But don't hide yourself because of it. Become stronger with it. Take that lesson and add it to your shield, to your armor. Bottom of the deck, if you think you are alone, you are not. We are beside you in all challenges that you face. Trust that outside sources will always be working with you to ensure the best outcome in every situation. We have your best interest at heart. We love you. Yes, we do. All right, so let's get a card of guidance from the Goddess Power Oracle deck. Bottom of the deck is Devotion with Parvati. Okay. What card of guidance for Aries? Bottom of the deck is Forgiveness with Branwyn. Maybe forgiveness in the air. And we have Kali with Liberation, number 25. All right, let's see what we get. Liberation. Yeah, I really feel like this person was supposed to trigger you with that behavior, but there's stuff you need to learn from that. Okay, so Kali with Liberation. You're being invited by the Hindu goddess of liberation and revolution, Kali, to address the aspects in your own shadow nature that have held you hostage to old ideas that no longer serve who you want to become. You can no longer define yourself by your victim story and expect to succeed in your life. There is a beauty in liberation that is deep, fierce, and courageous. It rises up from the willingness to break the chains of the past in order to transform into something new. I think you need to get stronger from these types of situations to where you don't shut down. You may be afraid to set boundaries with others, but the goddess Kali has come to lend you her daggers, for you must cut ties with the familiar ideas about life that have determined your place in the world up until now. Have you been holding back on shining in the world because you are afraid of the reprisal or judgment of others? This helps no one. You must step into life, authentic and glowing. Refuse to allow the potential judgment of others to affect you. Every day, claim your power to liberate yourself from caring what others think. When you are asking for the wisdom to live and contribute, to do no harm, and to serve for the highest good of all, none of this matters, even if you must tear down what has been built. Kali will help you whenever you need to be courageous, even when you are most afraid. Be fierce and be loving and be willing to learn. Life will respond in miraculous ways. Okay, so your alignment message is: when resentment and anger fester below the surface, the unprocessed emotions simmer until they boil over. It is easy to project anger, envy, and ancient inherited rage on others we perceive as the source of our discontent. When something triggers these emotions, we can project onto strangers as well as the people closest to us. Nobody wins when so much pain is unleashed in the world. Take heart, for you are not alone. Know that rage and fury must have a place to be expressed, and you can use this energy to make something extraordinary and find a new way. The fierce liberation goddess Kali offers her daggers to help you cut the ties to stories you tell about your past once you have expressed and processed them. No matter what your conditions, your alignment task is to find a way to channel this rage, this anger, these feelings into creativity. Make something of it, of yourself, so you don't create destruction just because you can. Be willing to be teachable, even if it feels uncomfortable. When you know more, you can do better. Be willing to take full accountability for the energy you bring to the world. Kali knows the fierce, dark love she brings you will not always be comfortable, but the process of transformation requires rigorous self-honesty. You have what it takes. Now, make something meaningful and be someone you are proud of. All right. So that's what I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it resonated with you. But most of all, I hope it helps you in some way. So if you like these messages, please hit the like, subscribe, and share, and leave me some comments. So until the next time, I'll see you then. You take care of yourself. Bye-bye.